Alright, so in our graph here, we're looking at life expectancy as compared to your age at your first marriage. We're looking at 4 different countries, which are represented by these 4 different bubble graphs. Down here is India. The blue over here is Uganda. The green is the United States. And the other red dot is Japan. The color of the dots represents the continent in which they come from, so red stands for Asia. Blue stands for Africa, green for North and South America. Now, the size of the bubble determines the population of the country. So as the size grows, you can tell that the population is growing. Let's start off with India. So here we will track India through the years. Not much is happening right now. There's short little dips in life expectancy, as is to be expected. There's not much historical context in those years with why. They were stable for a few years there. There's starting to be big drops as we come into World War I. That big drop right there was the end of World War I at 1918. Then shortly after, they take a drop in their marriage because in times of peace right after wars, that tends to be what happens. And then it will start to increase again. It kind of flatlines in the World War II years. That right there is World War II in this area. Then it just gradually spikes and continues to go up. As you can see, as their life expectancy increases, also their age at first marriage does, which is kind of the effect we were going for. Alright, now we're going to observe Uganda. Uganda doesn't really have any much data for it until about 1969. And then when you're in 1969, there's a steady increase for a while. Things are going good. That dip right there is the start of the HIV epidemic. And then it starts to work its way back up and out after they've finally come out of the HIV epidemic and found not cures, but methods of preventing it. And their life expectancy goes up along with their age at first marriage. Alright, the next one we are observing is Japan. So Japan has the most data for it, which is kind of cool. This is just a steady drop in age at first marriage as goes along with their cultural norms. It starts to rebuild and go back up. Not much happens in the first 60, 70 years here. Their life expectancy slowly increases there for a while, which is good for them. Then we're going to hit a spike right there. That is Japan in 1918, which was the end of World War I. Then it continues to grow for a while. This huge drop right here is the course of World War II, where it hits its all-time lows in 1945. Then it starts to rebuild itself and go all the way back up. You see a short decrease in age of marriage, and then it just jumps up as their life expectancy does. Moving on, we're going to follow the United States. Starts at about 1960, where it takes this huge drop, which is during the span of the Civil War. Life expectancy goes down, age at first marriage kind of stays the same. Then you hit this kind of time of peace after war, in which you see the age of first marriage steadily go down. There was a little dip in here, which is part of World War I. All those dips are little parts of World War I. Then, here at 1918, that's the end of World War I. Moving on, we slowly begin to increase our life expectancy. That drop right there in age at first marriage is the time after World War II. So you're in peace times and your age at first marriage drops. We hit that little lull there. starts to work its way back up, and then it kind of just skyrockets into the modern era.